Your mess is your message. There is a specific thing that you were put on this earth to do. There is a specific kind of work you are here to do, a specific person you're here to help, and it all matters. Your story is unique as you are. Welcome to the Queen Rising podcast. I am your host, Missy Shaheen. I'm a self love and confidence coach, and I help women regain their energy and get their sexy back. So, today's episode, we are going to talk about how astrology came into my work, what I do now, how it has evolved, how a couple episodes back, I talked a little bit about my business evolution, how I got started versus what I'm doing now, but we're going to go a little bit deeper, and I specifically want to take you on my journey with astrology. So, have you ever read your horoscope in the back of a magazine or in the newspaper? I'm going to be so honest with you. I used to read those like in high school and in college, and they were fun to read. I would definitely read them, but I never really believed them. I never put much, thought into them. It all sounded a little hocus pocus to me. I never put a lot of truth to it. Then, when my son was like 3 or 4 years old, I was in a mom group and on Facebook. And in this mom group, this one mom had talked about her natal chart, and she knew the natal charts of like all her kids. And I think she had like 3 kids at the time. And I did a little Googling, and I wanted to know. I wanted to know the natal chart of my children. I didn't even know what a natal chart was. And when I Googled it, it produced this chart for me. It was like a bunch of circles, like a big circle, like a big wheel. And then there was all these lines and dots. And it was way over my head. And I was like, this is weird. And it's super confusing. And I kind of filed it away and I never looked at it again. So if you are here today and you kind of feel that way about astrology, like, no, it's kind of out there, it's a little weird, and you don't really understand it, that's okay. I have been there. So then I'm going to take you back to 2016. 2016, I had already shut down my childcare business. We talked about this in a couple episodes ago about how I just wasn't feeling fulfilled. I realized it's not where my gifts were lying at. There was other things I was better at, and I was already coaching on weight loss, sharing my story on social media, and I had found some success in that. But I found myself in a place of stagnation. Like I felt like I remember coming down on my knees, like praying to God, like, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I really enjoy it. I'm really good at it. But there was something missing, and hadn't found the level of success I was really wanting. I had some success, just not, I had found success, but it just wasn't the success I wanted. And I felt like there was something missing. I was coaching people on like what to eat, what not to eat, what workouts to do, and how to regain their energy and get their body back. But there was something missing, and I didn't know what it was. And I came across a post in a Facebook group for a program. It was called Business by the Moon. And this program was basically teaching you how to manifest with the moon, using the moon and the full moon to manifest your business next levels. And this is when she touched a little bit on astrology. And I was intrigued. And so I started Googling my natal chart. I wanted to know because, in the course they talk about if you know your specific natal chart, you can like personalize how the moon is affecting you. And so I started Googling. I wanted to know. And the things I found out were like, whoa. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about my own chart. So I am a Leo. I've always known I was a Leo, and I've always resonated with the Leo energy. I'm a natural leader. I love to be on the spotlight. What else? I've always loved to be on camera. I've always loved like recognition, being on stage, those sorts of things. And so I just love that. But I didn't know anything else. And so what I found was I have a moon in Sagittarius, and the biggest trickster, I guess, the thing that threw me for a loop was my rising sign in Scorpio. Shortly after that, I did a free reading with an astrologer. She was offering business astrology sessions, and I snagged one up, and she went through my chart with me and told me, basically how to pivot my business. And I did not pivot my business because the thing she told me on that call was like so far out of my comfort zone from what I was doing. So I told her I was working as a health coach, and I had a really hard time with getting consistent clients. I had a really hard time with the clients I did get, where I was getting. They were only sticking with me for a little bit, like maybe a month or two, and then they were going, doing something else. They just had a hard time staying consistent on their diet or with the workouts. And I was frustrated. I wanted something. I knew there was just something missing. And she talked to me about my rising sign in Scorpio. And I'm bringing this up because we're entering Scorpio season. So I thought it would be a great time to talk about why, I pivoted my business like I did. And now I'm a life path astrology reader. So some of the things I talk about in my astrology sessions, we talk about your sun sign. I'm a Leo. Yes, I am very natural born leader. I love the stage. I love the spotlight. Leos really love nice things. They have an exquisite taste. They love luxury. And they love to give their love away, but they also love to receive it. Like, that's me. That is a true Leo. And then I have my moon in Sagittarius. So I have my moon in Sagittarius in the second house. So Sagittarius is freedom seeker. They love to learn, they love to explore, they love to travel. And they're like the philosophy teacher of the zodiac. So freedom is a center core value of myself and my business. And so I don't ever want to tie myself down to a certain way of being. I love to like keep learning and keep evolving, and I don't get my information from the same source. I like to learn from different professors or authors or teachers because I want to come up with my own philosophy. I like to take a little bit of what I learned over here and a little bit of what I learned over here and a little bit of what I learned over there and kind of formulate my own processes. But the Scorpio rising is what really threw me for a loop. So I knew nothing about Scorpio. I really didn't know a whole lot about any of the zodiac signs except Leo because I was a Leo, but especially Scorpio because I really don't have very many Scorpios in my life. So Scorpio is known as the investigator of the zodiac. They like to talk about things that no one else likes to talk about, the taboo things like sex and money and the occult. Um, the thing about Scorpio is they don't dabble. They will get to the end, they will go to the ends of the earth to find the information they need to find. A lot of people talk about Scorpio and rabbit trails. So if you don't know what a rabbit trail, it's like, I'm not just like learning from one source or learning about like a whole bunch of things. Scorpio is like, I'm interested in this topic and I will learn everything I can about this topic from every source I can get my hands on, and I will know everything there is to know about it. Scorpio is not a dabbler. They usually they're very passionate, so they'll find one or two things they're super passionate about, and they will just go all the way down the rabbit trail. They will get to the root. They don't. They're not a surface level person at all. They don't like small talk or surface level conversations. I'm not here to talk about the weather. I'm not here to talk about current events. Like, if I do talk about current events, I'm going to go to the root. I'm going to talk about the philosophy. I want to talk about, like, the stuff not a lot of people want to talk about. So in this business astrology session that I had with one of my mentors, she talked about my Scorpio rising. If I'm like a health coach, my Leo energy wants to help you feel sexy and wants to help you get on camera and like really look good for camera. But the Scorpio rising is like, I want to help you feel sexy in your body. She actually talked about maybe doing mirror work, helping women really feel comfortable with what they see in the mirror. Because that's that Scorpio energy. Like, we're gonna get to the root of what this is. We're not here just to put you on a cookie cutter diet plan. Like, we're gonna figure out what it is like stopping you from being consistent on your diet, whether that's self-sabotage or whether that's limiting beliefs or like if you have addictions. Like, that's the Scorpio part of me that like, why is it that you've been on the same diet 13 times and you just can't seem to stick to it, right? So the past couple years, I've really tried to embrace more of my Scorpio edge. And so this is where my branding comes in. I really want to, because your rising sign, we talk a lot about the rising sign with my life path astrology readings. My soul alignment sessions is what they're called. And we talk a lot about the rising sign because the rising sign is how people see you, but it's really the work you're here to do. So the work I'm here to do is to really get to the root and to help people understand why they're not getting the results they want. And I also feel like that's been the hardest part of my business because I feel like a lot of the people I attract, they want the surface level. They want to just fit in the dress. They want me to just tell them what to eat. Give me the recipes. And I can do that. But the Scorpio in me is like, yeah, but don't you want to know why? Don't you want to not just look good in a dress, but also feel sexy in your skin with or without the dress on? So another aspect or placement that we talk about in my sessions is the North and the South Node. So the North and the South Node are total opposite each other. The South Node is your comfort zone. It's the things you just do so well, very natural to you. They're so natural to you, you don't even know you do it. I find. I talked a little bit in my one of my previous episodes about when I first did my Gallup Strengths Finder. My number one strength was strategy. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know strategy was like something I'm good at because it was just something I did and I thought everyone did it this way. But that is also my Capricorn South Node. So your South Node is your comfort zone. It's the thing that you just know how to do. No one really had to teach you. And my mentor talks about like Whitney Houston. So Whitney Houston has, she was just born with this beautiful voice that could hit these high octaves that no one else could do. It's not something she had to learn how to do. It just came natural to her. And that is your South Node. It just comes natural to you. My South Node is in Capricorn. And so this is why when I was in my business and I was telling people what to eat and how, what workouts to do, like this is my Capricorn South Node really coming out. And so if you're not already charging, you're not sure where to start with charging, making money in your business or online, you can start with your South Node. And Capricorn is the CEO of the zodiac. They're all about looking at long term. They're not just about the short term, but they're looking at like, what can I do today that's going to impact my bottom line? What can I do today that's going to impact me a year from now? And so I was coached very much on habit forming, and how, the habits we have create the results that we want. However, your North Node is part of your destiny. If you can move into the direction of your North Node, this is where you find your fulfillment. And it's total opposite of whatever your South Node is. Your North Node is in the opposite sign. And so my North Node is in the opposite sign of Cancer. So it's part of my life path to move away from strategy, status, looking good. Capricorn's all about, they like luxury too. They're all about like, they're all about their reputation. They're all about their career. They find their worth in their work. But part of my destiny is to move into the direction of my North Node in Cancer, which Cancer is about family. Cancer is about community. Cancer is about holding space, and they're emotional, they're intuitive, they are psychic. And I have my North Node in my 9th house. So the North Node may not necessarily be something you do in your business, but for me, because I have it in the 9th house of teaching and philosophy, this is something that I need to be teaching others. And once I really started to embrace this is when I decided that I was going to get certified in astrology, and I was going to bring this into my work because it had such a profound effect on how I approach my business and the fulfillment I get from my business now. Now it's not just a way to make money. My business, I truly feel this is my life path. This is my purpose. Even if I'm not making money from it, I would still do it for free because I feel genuinely fulfilled by doing this work. And so I started this episode as your mess is your message. Having a South Node in Capricorn part of my mess and my message was like, I used to hustle. I would do anything to make a dollar. I would do whatever it takes. I would work and work and work and work and work to get to the top of the mountain like a Capricorn. I would just do whatever it took to fulfill my destiny, to have money in the bank, to have the nice car, to live the nice life. And that is Capricorn. Capricorn will work and work and work, and they don't care how long it takes them to get there. They just care about getting to the top of the mountain. But Cancer, now that I've embraced my Cancer North Node, my message has changed that no, it's not all work. Like, you get to have emotions, you get to have feelings, and honoring your feelings and honoring your emotions is important. Now my message is your emotions are like your GPS. They tell you if you're on the right track or if you're not. Cancer's all about financial security, as in, like, I have the things I need to take care of my home and my family. They're also all about like self-care. The thing about Cancer is they are very good at taking care of themselves, but sometimes they're not always super great at taking care of others. Or I'm sorry, taking care of themselves. They're super great at taking care of others because they're known as the mother of the zodiac. They have these maternal instincts. However, sometimes they overextend themselves and then they have to retreat inside of their crab shell because Cancer is identified by the crab. So they go into their crab shell until they can fill up their own cup, and then they'll come out and play again. But part of my message is learning how to fill your own cup on a daily basis. And this is how I came to the self-care rituals. I actually utilize your astrological birth chart, and we talk about the things that you can do on a daily and a weekly basis to fill your own cup, the things that's going to bring you joy, the things that's going to help you feel loved and valued, things that are going to help you feel motivated inside of your work, inside of whatever you do, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you work out of the house. How can you bring this different levels of self-care into your daily life? And so I feel like I still do a lot of the things that I did in the very beginning parts of my business. I'm all about self-love, getting your energy back, helping you feel sexy, but I do it in a different way where it's not just about the food you eat, and it's not just about getting to the gym every day. Now, it goes so much deeper than that. It's about how you can have fulfillment in your daily life, how you can fill your cup even if you can't get to the gym. How do you fill your cup on your rest days? How do you regain energy, not just from the food you eat, but by the things you surround yourself with and the people in your circle and all of that. So if you want to learn more about these soul alignment sessions or the self-care rituals, I will leave the link below. So the soul alignment session is a one-on-one reading with me for anywhere between 30 to 60 minutes, and we go through your chart. I go through the most important parts of your chart to talk about your life path. Your Self-Care Rituals is a DIY, like self-paced course to where I talk a little bit about things you can look at in your chart, and I give you like a plug and play list. Like if you have Libra placements, you should incorporate these things in your self-care. If you have Gemini placements, incorporate some of these other things. So it is more of a plug and play, self-paced course for you to start to understand your own astrological birth chart and how to incorporate these things into your self-care routine. So I'll leave the link below. Let me know over on Instagram. Do a screenshot. Share with me in the DMs. Like, let me know if you're finding value from this and if you found this interesting on how I evolved from just like basically a weight loss coach to now coaching people way deeper. Self-love and confidence, it goes way deeper than just what size jeans you're in.